all of the reasons I said I was opposed to the speech. I expected the Prime Minister to speculate on and mischaracterize the negotiations and a potential deal. For instance, he continually said that the deal ends in a certain period of time and there are no restrictions, would be no restrictions on Iran's nuclear program after the deal expired. That is not the case, as we have been advised by the White House. But again, this is part of the strategy that he used. I resented the condescending tone that he used, which basically indicated that he didn't think anybody in Congress or the country understood the threat that a nuclear weaponized Iran poses to his country, to the region, and to the world. I think the president has made it very clear we understand that threat. I don't think that there is any doubt that everyone in Congress and the administration understands that Iran has been a bad actor in the region, that it has sponsored terrorism, that it has done things that we would like to see changed. We all know that. It's nice of him to remind us. And I also resent the fact that he was telling us how to negotiate when the administration and their representatives have been at this for 2 years now with the cooperation and participation of 5 other major nations in the world. This speech was straight out of the Dick Cheney playbook. This was fear-mongering at its ultimate. Phrases like essentially saying nuclear war is inevitable if this deal were to be accepted. Phrases like this would pave the way to Iran having a nuclear bomb. These are things that I think are, again, part of what Dick Cheney would have done and did. This has been Prime Minister's pattern. He's gone to the UN and done the same thing. I understand, and as all of us do, all of us who desperately support Israel and care very deeply about Israeli security, that Israel perceives its threat differently than we might. But I don't think there is any question that the administration and all of us understand that threat and are trying our best to thwart it. My final comment, Prime Minister Netanyahu basically said that the only acceptable deal was a perfect deal or an ideal deal. It's like the child who says, I want to go to Disneyland every day, eat ice cream and drink Coca-Cola every day and not go to school. That would be a nice life for a child. But this is very serious business, and it is being conducted in a very, very real world. Idealism is fine, as William F. Buckley once said, but as it approaches reality, the costs become prohibitive. And in this case, I believe that insisting on the ideal deal, again, in a world where things constantly change and realities change, is something that for which the cost would be prohibitive. And those costs would be a lost opportunity to put an end to Iran's nuclear program. And with that, I would like to introduce David Price of North Carolina.
Thank you, John, and good morning. As John said, the members here individually made our decisions about attending the speech, but what we're united in is our determination to learn from this controversy, the controversy that surrounded the speech, and to move on to reinforce the U.S.-Israel a security relationship and to protect the world against a nuclear-armed Iran. Speaker Boehner should never have extended this invitation at this time, given the proximity of this speech to Israel's national elections and the fact that delicate international negotiations, which the Prime Minister clearly wishes to upend, are hanging in the balance at this moment. And Prime Minister Netanyahu should not have accepted this invitation, which was extended. Delicate international negotiations, which the Prime Minister clearly wishes to upend, are hanging in the balance at this moment. And Prime Minister Netanyahu should not have accepted this invitation, which was extended without the usual consultation of bipartisan leadership and the normal notification of and consultation with the President. For these reasons, the invitation and the speech set a dangerous precedent whereby congressional leaders from one party can invite a foreign politician to publicly oppose the policies of the sitting president on the House floor. In doing so, we not only tarnish the grand tradition